Hi everyone, I'm Krista Gonsalves. I'm a holistic nutritionist and wellness business clarity coach and copywriter. What I wanted to talk to you about today is legalizing, I don't know if that's a real word, legalizing your online wellness business. The reason why I wanted to talk about it today is because it's something that I had to have a really negative experience happen to me and my business in order for me to pull the pin and take action to legalize my own business. So I'm going to share that experience with you today. This also was prompted by a recent question and concern in my Juice Up Your Wellness Business Facebook group. So here's the question from the Facebook group, and I'll tell you how that ties into my own experience. One of the members shared with me that they were very disappointed after a recent program launch. They had done a lot of work and a lot of preparation and then felt very disappointed by the launch results. Only a few participants had signed up and paid for her new health program. What was even more disappointing about this was that one of the very few participants, she actually stumbled across this. It had come to her attention, actually, that one of the few participants had actually taken some of the program content and stolen it and was using it to run her own free challenge on her website. So I not only went over a few of the reasons why she may have fallen short on the program launch, because I'm a business clarity coach, so we wanted to go over those points first. But then I also shared with her an experience that I had very early on in my own online business where someone had stolen my web content. So we went through that and the steps that I took, and then went through a few additional steps that I did not take myself, but wanted to make sure that she did in her situation. So here's what happened. I had been working with a colleague on a physical program, so one that was going to be run locally, a women's health program. And we worked very hard to make a really fantastic program, really valuable resources, had a lot of fun doing it, and got our program participants some great results. Fantastic. From there, we decided to both go and create our own programs using that one as a foundation. Absolutely wonderful. It was all agreed upon, no problems there. As I worked more on my own program and was just about ready to launch it, I was curious to see how my colleague had been doing on their program. So when I visited the website to see how the progress was, I was shocked and dismayed, doesn't even put it well enough, to find that this colleague had not only copied a lot of the content, resources, marketing pieces from my own program, but they had called it exactly the same thing. None of these points were discussed prior to us agreeing that we would go and do our own programs. Again, shock was just not even going to cut it. My response, more like my knee-jerk reaction to this, was to immediately write a strongly worded email to my colleague, not only pointing out this error, saying how disappointed I was that they had outright copied word for word, verbatim, my marketing materials and some of my content, but also that it was illegal. So I guess I was lucky in the sense that, not lucky that I had web content stolen, but lucky that this interaction, this communication was all it took to have my colleague remove all of the material and nothing more needed to be said. But that is not how it can go, as I understand, in many cases. Now, for me, this situation is perhaps a bit different because it was a colleague who I had physically been working with on a program. And I would have handled things differently if I had have given myself just a little bit more time to put together a more well thought out plan on how I was going to handle it professionally. But if it was just a stranger who I came across on the internet or whose content I came across, I would have handled it much differently. So that is what happened to me. That is how I handled it. And what I used it as a learning opportunity, as you should when shit hits the fan, basically. And online business was very new for me at the time. So it made me reprioritize and rethink how I was going to continue running my online business. And number one was seeking legal counsel. And so I did pull the pin and take action and sought that and came across a really great resource, of which, depending on where you're watching this video, I'll either put that right in the blog post, my recommendation, or it's going to be in the comments after the video. So now I have in place a terms and conditions, a privacy policy, and of course, a disclaimer. And I say of course because these are things I knew needed to be in place, but I was so overwhelmed and so, I don't know, baffled by legal matters as it pertained to business. I just avoided it. Plain and simple, that's the honest truth. So now I know I have my legal butt covered, and it was really eye-opening experience. And then having the legal consultation session was also very eye-opening to me. And that is precisely why, in addition to this question and concern coming up in the Juice Up Your Wellness Business Facebook group from this member's question. So passing on the goods to you today so that you too can make sure to get your legal butt covered in your business. I can't stress it enough. It's something that's so important, and I cannot believe that I left it for so long. So if, unlike myself, you are not able to take that first step and have direct communication with the offending party through a professional, well-worded email, and you do need to take it or escalate it to another level, what you can do is go to the WHOIS directory, WHOIS, very easy to look up on the internet, and you can actually see from that directory who owns the website. You can get their contact information from there if it's not absolutely obvious once you get onto their website. The next step you may want to take, if you are escalating it further, or you need to because you have non-compliance or absolutely no response from the offending party, is to get in touch and inform the web hosting company. This will also be on the WHOIS directory. If you are going to take it another step, you may want to even file a complaint with the DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. This is a US Copyright Act. There's also a Canadian version, again, depending on where you're watching this from. I will leave that either in the comments or it's directly in the blog how to look that up. So some different steps that you can take if you are still experiencing no response, non-compliance from the offending party, and or they are making money off of your content, then you may want to send them a cease and desist letter. So there are plenty of templates for that on the web. You can also contact a local attorney or other legal counsel as to how to go about that. So the first thing in all of this is prevention. Like I said, that is something I wish I had in place right from the beginning, so that perhaps I had a chance at this colleague of mine who claiming ignorance, just simply didn't know what the rules, the copyright rules of web content were. Again, my situation is a little bit different because this is a colleague who just really should have known better, and you don't steal people's stuff. So that's what I did. I let you know what I wish I had have done and all of the extra steps that you can take. Prevent it in the first place by putting those legal documents in place. But here's the honest truth about it. If you do business online, even partially, whether you've got a physical health or wellness practice, clinic, or even a gym, the chances of your web content being stolen, it's very high. Now, I know what the feeling is when you're in the health and wellness space. We are all feel good, high vibe people, and we trust a lot. But here's the thing, it does happen. There are way too many unoriginal a-holes out there who are just too lazy, have no integrity and are going to steal your stuff. It does happen. So put those measures in place on your website when you're conducting online business, and then all of the different steps that you can take if it does actually happen to you. But here's the flip side of the coin, and what I'm going to end with today. Don't be one of those unoriginal a-holes. Don't ever steal people's stuff. It's flat out wrong on every level. We're all working so hard out there to produce this amazing, really high value, fresh content. I get it. It's hard to do. Putting out the written content can be very time consuming. I get that too. Lots of ways around that. You can be doing audio posts, audio content, video posts, video content, just like this right here, right now. Outsource the writing. I happen to know a great web writer. All right, guys, that's what I'm going to say about getting your legal booty covered. Don't delay like I did. Go and get it done. If you have any questions at all, you know where to find me. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.